Okay, I see nothing.
No, don't worry. It's going to be soon. It works with a delay. So my suggestion is like one of us. I follow it. You just focus on the Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, we are live now. Super good. Let's keep chatting for another 4 or 5 minutes, then we will start.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Are you okay? This became my signature question. Waiting for the interview.
Okay.
Are you training these days?
Absolutely not. It's hard for me. It's really hard for me. I live in an apartment. No playground, no nothing. And I'm not that kind of guy that loves to be making squats and
no,
no, definitely not. No squats challenges, no nothing. My training I love to train in the pool, definitely, but I'm not being able to go in the pool to swim or to make some drills. And
I do squats.
So. Oh, it's great. It's great. I recommend it, but it's hard for me to stay there and start making push-ups. It's like, oh, I'm boring. But it's been always a problem for me. Anytime I sign up for in a gym, for example, I've never ended 1 month in a gym. Impossible for me. I can't stand it. I don't know why. Then I go in my boat and with the anchors and all that stuff. This is where I train and working.
My solution for that is I train regularly every other day, but my training sessions are short. So it's like
that's nice.
It's a burst. It's like 20-25 minutes, but a little bit stretching before, a lot of stretching after. So it's like 40-45 minutes. I fix it.
Well, I keep stretching, but this is because it's part of my life. Sometimes if we are chatting at home, I will be like, and stretching like this, putting a leg over the table or something like this. I'm always stretching. It's like part of my life.
Okay, so if you see your feet like this on the screen,
I'm stretching.
Then you know what's going on. Okay.
So. I'm stretching. I know it's quite weird for some people, but well, sometimes we are chatting and like.
But what about eating habits? How has it changed so far? I happen to eat a lot of dirty food these days. Yeah, not these days. I mean, in general, since I started to stay at home more.
Actually, I'm learning to cook. I've never paid attention to that, and now I'm saying, okay, let's look for a recipe and say because I have time, and so yeah, I'm learning to cook and starting enjoying it because I've never enjoyed it because it was always like, okay, I need to eat. What can I do or whatever.
Come on, you're Argentinian. You have your signature lamb.
Yeah, we have the best lamb. Memo, you need to come here. We have I will not to say the best lamb because it's too Argentinian. To say we have the best, it's too Argentinian. But we have a very, very good lamb here. Yeah. Definitely. But no, I'm not that typical Argentinian. But I'm learning. I'm getting into it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Sure. Definitely. Cooking became part of the life, and it's amazing how much you can get hungry if you don't do anything. It's like if there's nothing to do more than an hour, immediate reaction for me is like I start thinking like I need to eat something.
Yeah, because you get bored. Okay, let's eat. Let's eat. It's like you generate endorphins, I think, and all that kind of hormones, happiness hormones. So, but when you look at in the mirror, you say, "Oh, where are those hormones? I need them now."
Those hormones are going in this area, in the middle part, piling up.
Yeah, definitely. I burned a couple of kilos these 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I think I have 2-3 more kilos. Yeah, because I'm really active. I go in the sea. Normally, I go in the sea 2-3 times a week, and we swim a lot. And here is cold water, and you burn a lot of calories with that. So yeah, and I'm eating more than usually and doing less. So well, it's easy.
I remember reading it somewhere in a beginner where the body is not so much used to the conditions of the water. They say freediving burns around 1,000 calories per hour. So it is a lot. Yeah. So
wow.
It is a lot of training. I mean, this is just something I wrote. I read it. I'm sorry. So don't know if it is true or not, but yeah.
Well, definitely in cold water, you burn a lot of calories just trying to be warm enough. You burn a lot of calories.
Corina said we should offer weight loss classes. Yeah. You were looking for an alternative channel, yeah. So anyway, so let's start if you want. It's 2 past.
Okay, I'm ready.
Central European time. Welcome everybody to the Freedive Friday. We are here today with a special guest, Alejandro Andres from Argentina. Welcome, Alejandro.
Welcome everybody. Thanks, Memo, for inviting me here. I'm really proud to be part of the Freediving Fridays.
Pleasure. For the ones who don't know us, let me introduce myself first, then Alejandro will do the same for himself. My name is Memo, and I work in SSI in the freediving department. I'm an international training director. So I am, just like many of us watching this interview now, one of you guys who dedicated his life to freediving. And I'm very happy to have Alejandro today with his amazing stories of freediving.
Okay, thank you very much, Memo. Well, my name is Alejandro. Memo already said that I'm a freediving instructor trainer. I make a living of freediving. I have my own freedive center in a place it's called Puerto Madryn in the Patagonia, in Argentina, Patagonia, in a place where it's called Peninsula Valdez, that it's a UNESCO heritage. It's a very nice place, and there is where I have my freedive center.
Super nice.
Yeah, sometimes I compete, sometimes I teach.
Good. We will come to the juicy details, but for the ones who are joining this interview for the first time, this is the concept. We are really trying to chat in front of you. Of course, we have some questions to guide our discussion through, but whatever question you have, please don't hesitate to put them in the chat box so we can find answer to these questions. For us, it is maybe the most important point to see your participation in the interview. So Alejandro, let's start the interview.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know you're from Argentina, but are you born in the same city that you're teaching now, or have you moved a little bit around?
I was born in Patagonia, but not in the same city I'm living now, because I was born in a place that it's called Cipolletti. It's because we have Italian people there, but it's 700 kilometers from the sea. So when I became older or big enough, I moved to the seashore because I wanted to be in the sea. Yeah, but always in Patagonia. I really love Patagonia.
Super nice. But it's a giant country. I mean, yours is also super big, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mind that in Patagonia, from just Patagonia, that it's 4 states, you have almost 2,000 kilometers in Patagonia. It's big. Yeah. We are always talking about hundreds of kilometers or thousands of kilometers.
That's this unit of measuring. Yes, 100 kilometers. That starts shortest distance starts from 100 kilometers. Yeah. It's interesting. Like a lot of us, like me, for example, I am from mainland city as well, very far from the sea, but we find our way in life by the sea sooner or later at some point. It is beautiful to hear these kind of things.
It's an option. You choose to go there. It's not that, okay, I was born here, so I'm here. We chose that, and that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. How old were you when you developed an interest for freediving and when you started to freedive?
That's a tricky question. My first freediving course was when I was 26, 27 years old. But I remember when I was a child that there was an American series. You may remember that it was Men from Atlantis.
Of course.
With the hand. This guy with the orange suit, and swimming like a dolphin. That was my hero. I didn't care anything. I didn't care about Batman or Superman. I wanted to be like the Man from Atlantis. And I was the place where I was born. There was no sea, but we had 3 rivers. And since I was 3-4 years old, I was swimming underwater like a dolphin, like
in the rivers. Yeah. So you were swimming in the rivers and practicing
in the rivers. I started freediving in rivers, grabbing rocks like a flag.
That's very interesting.
So anytime that I was in a pool or whatever, I was putting my head inside and say, how long can I stay in the water? I don't know how my mom is still living and didn't have a heartbreak.
Of course. That is going to be the next question. Like, how did your family reacted? Like, of course, when we are very young, they are sort of on alert. Oh, the boy is just gone too long under the water, kind of, like always on alert. But when serious freediving became your life, what did they think?
I remember my father that put his arm on my shoulders and said, think about this. Because we need to put it into context. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, trying to make a living from freediving was utopic.
Yes, of course.
Trying to make a living from teaching freediving was definitely utopic. And my family was conservative. So they wanted me to have a proper job, what every family, mother and father wants you. And I was learning freediving, and I was having 2 jobs to earn money, to go to Brazil, that there was an instructor there, and go in there and take part in competitions.
So your first freediving course was in Brazil or in Argentina?
Yes, no, in Brazil. The only instructor here in South America was Caroline Meyer in Brazil. So, and there were some people in Venezuela. It was Carlos Coster and all that people there, growing up a lot. But the closer I have, just 5,000 kilometers, was Carol Meyer in Brazil.
Just 50 units away.
So no, my family was really concerned. Well, they were really concerned because they didn't think I could make a living from this. I wasn't thinking about making a living from freediving that time. I just wanted to freedive. It was like I had that fever. You know what I'm talking about when you get that fever of freediving.
Yeah.
I couldn't think in other thing that freediving. I want to freedive, but there's a wall there. Move.
But you know what? It's an interesting topic, and it's just coincidence. I've been making some research on these things. Previously, what is considered as safe in living is now turning into unsafe, because what is considered to be safe is an ordinary job from 9 to 5, doing the tasks that you are given in your office space, which you are not using any of your personal abilities, which in a way makes you regular, and which makes you dispensable. Yeah, like if you are underperforming, you are pretty replaceable in your life. But following your passion and pushing harder to beat yourself, to reach your utopia, let's say the dream, is just the answer for the absolute success. And I mean, I know you are following it. I am following it. Yes, it is a fun way of living, for sure.
Yes, and it's definitely the recipe for happiness. Definitely, there's nothing that can make me more happy than doing this. That doesn't mean that I don't have ups and downs, but I definitely think but right now I don't think I can do anything else than freediving, or freediving related, if you want to say it like this.
Don't forget the idea of weight loss classes.
Yes, definitely.
That's good. So when was your turning point? Like, when was the breaking point, thinking that, okay, now I want to turn my life totally into freediving. I want to live by freediving. When was it? How did it happen?
Well, I used to work. I used to work in a hotel, a 5-star hotel here in town, and it was quite nice because it's warm in winter. You have air conditioned in summer. You have a salary, and I was already a freediving instructor. In that time, becoming a freediving instructor was just about performance. It wasn't like now. It was, if you can do this, you can be first level instructor, second level instructor. It was well. And I was already an instructor, sometimes teaching, but my living was in the hotel.
Yeah.
And one day I was a hostess in the hotel. And one day I was bored because there was no people around. There were no people around. And I asked myself, like, okay, how do you see yourself in 20 years?
Okay.
I was younger than now. And the answer was exactly in this same situation. Because mostly in a hotel, that the hotels, it's like you have the roof like here. If the manager doesn't die, you will still be a hostess. Yeah. So when I realized about that, I realized that I had to make a decision. I didn't have any more time to spend there. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm not following this path anymore. I was more than 30 years old. Yeah, 30 years old. I said, if I don't do this now, I will never do it. So I did it. I started, we always say here in Argentina, like the monkeys, we don't, grabbing some, I don't know how to say it, stick. You don't leave a stick until you grab the other one.
Yeah, okay.
So I got a job in a dive center, and still working in the hotel. And when I learned the work, how that works, because I've never worked in the diving industry before. So I learned that, and then I left the hotel and was working with the dive center, and soon after I opened my own free dive center. I started working myself, and that was the best decision I ever made in my life. Definitely.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Most of us, freediving changes its meaning in our life. When I originally started, I introduced into freediving by spearfishing, but in time it turned into pure freediving. Sometimes there was some moments where I find myself focusing on deep diving, let's say, or trying to beat myself in different disciplines. But there are also some times which I truly enjoy just freediving. That is like a pure meditation for me. I don't think about numbers, or I don't think about anything. It's just the way I relax. But I just cannot say this is the one. No, like any discipline can show itself up at any point in my life. How was yours? Like, did you start to see it like an athletic activity and focus on it? And then, because I know you had some national records, so how did it proceed? How did it progress in your life?
Well, it started as a competitive stuff, because as I told you, since I was a kid, the question always was, okay, how long can I stay? How many laps can I do? And internet helped a lot. When I started with this, they were making some competitions in Brazil. So that's where I decided. I went to a competition in Brazil, and then I stayed to make my instructor course. So I started like in a competitive way, pool freediving, but soon after I learned about spearfishing, and then deep diving. Well, here we have a lot of marine life, so interacting with marine life was it's like it was always opening. There's an opening here, and it's not the same doing statics than dynamics, and it's not the same going deep and spearfishing and interacting with mammals. It's never ending. That's why
exactly.
I love this.
Full of surprises all the time. It's like you don't know what's coming up, and it's the adventure, really.
Yeah, sure.
Like you get in the water to discover. And
and definitely this kind of meditation state in which you get when you spend many hours in the water, going down and up and down, and your mind starts to quiet down, and you are like, oh, this is paradise. It's like I can't explain it, but it's amazing. I love that feeling.
Definitely. What is your favorite discipline?
And competitive freediving?
Yes.
Free immersion is the one. Free immersion. I love free immersion. This because I'm lazy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's so peaceful to dive with free immersion. I like it a lot as well. What are your PBs, personal bests?
Well, free immersion is my best. It's 86 meters. Then no fins, 55, because I'm lazy.
No fins. It's not lazy discipline. You work quite a lot.
That is why it's just 55. And constant weight I reached, I don't remember, at 73, 75 with the monofin. I've been deeper with bifins. I'm definitely a bifinner, but no, not in competitions, so I don't have it recorded. But yeah, free immersion is the one I like most, because I never went to the competitions thinking in winning or thinking about numbers. I was to the competitions just to learn, to find friends. I have a lot of friends that I can only see in competitions. And I learned a lot. And well, where I live, I cannot reach this kind of depths. So I go to a competition a month or something like this to get used, to learn a lot, and to freedive. But I'm not thinking in numbers or positions in the list, trying to be the first or whatever. I've never cared about that.
It is actually very true. We are, like humans have a tendency to make everything measurable and try to measure themselves to see if they are doing good or bad. Take the example, like we divided the day into 24 and name it hours, then divided into 60, call it minutes, and that was not enough. We made it like even 60 more, called it seconds. And we try to measure everything just like this.
Yeah, and put in cases.
Yeah, in freediving, as soon as you get rid of these thoughts, it becomes your moment, and this becomes pure. Actually,
yeah, I think you have the same approach as me. You always go to this competition in Greece. It's in Greece, right? That is just for fun and meeting friends.
Yeah, exactly. I lately, I don't know this year, but I went there 3 times in the last 3 years. The big blue movie. So I've been going into this competition. It was a competition honoring the movie. Actually, it had the meaning. It was fun to be part of it. But then it became like a club. Every year I see my friends. Every year I had fun. Every year, and I progress. I learn. I enjoy every bit of it. That's the same
definitely.
Like you.
Yes, definitely. This is what I like from competitions. So yeah, I hope I can go back to competitions again soon, because this year is terrible.
Let's see. Maybe we can go somewhere together and have fun.
Oh yes, please. Yeah, sure, for sure.
So now, slowly, we have some questions. First question was from Corina, and she asked, like, how is marine life in South America?
Well, in Patagonia, South America is really big. But in Patagonia, we have mostly the fish part is not that interesting, but we have a lot of marine mammals. We have sea lions, we have sea elephants, we have whales, we are full of whales, orcas. Yes, marine mammals is what we find most. In front of my place, in front of my city where I live, from August to October, we have, I don't know, 50 whales around. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. And there are beaches that you can see the whales from the beach 50 meters from shore. They get really close to the beach.
I guess they are protected, right? You can you go and swim with them, or are there rules?
Yeah, no, there are a lot of rules. There are some parts. I live in a gulf, and when they are here, half of the gulf is completely closed. You cannot put a feet in the water. Perfect. Just leave them. But some part of because they are moving along the shore during the season, so they start in a place and they are moving. We usually have more, I don't remember the number, but more than 1,000 whales in the high season in the whole Gulf. Yes, a lot. And well, it's pretty usual. I live one block from the beach, and in the nights I hear them blowing. It's amazing.
So
It's
cool.
really,
Yeah.
no, it's so cool. It's amazing. And when you are well, free diving or diving with them, it's forbidden. But
they can come and check you, even if you're diving in the
definitely they
allowed
come to you.
zone.
They come to you. When we are free diving, we have a couple of lines down. They love to rub themselves against the lines.
The free diving lines.
Yeah, the free diving lines.
Oh my God.
Yes, so we are going down and trying to. Sometimes it's quite annoying because it's like
I cannot believe it. There's a whale again.
Yes, I can teach.
It's breaking my concentration. Come on, whale.
Yes, and sometimes, you know, I'm an instructor, so I go there for work. So it's like, okay, now this skill, you need to do this, okay, duck dive, and like this. And I see my students, all eyes that are opening like this, because behind there's a big whale. I said, ignore the whale, pay attention to me. It's like, no, you cannot ignore the whale, because I'm used to them, and they are like, sometimes they are quite a problem. Sometimes I need to cancel the class and say, okay, let's enjoy this, because, and we don't have moorings.
Blame you. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's quite dangerous. We don't have moorings because we are not allowed to put moorings because of the waves, because they
the mooring lines.
Mooring lines, yeah.
Yes,
so,
okay, fixed lines are not allowed. Yeah.
No, so, and we need to anchor, and if we are diving 30, 40, 50 meters, I have 150 meters of anchor line, and they love to rub themselves there. It's like we are free diving and the boat is doing like, and I say, I don't know, my boat, they're going to sink my boat. Yes, it's weird. It's weird. Or coming up in a line and suddenly crash your head against the wave. They are everywhere. They are lovely, and they come to see you. But when you have several lines hanging, can be dangerous for us and for them, of course. But
quick question: cool. What's the water temperature in summer and in winter?
Summer we reach 17 degrees, 17, 18 degrees, and winter 9 degrees, 8 degrees a few days in the coldest part of the year. But nice visibility in winter, you know, the best visibility is in winter, so we enjoy it.
It better be 100-meter visibility in 9 degrees. That's the only way I can get in the water.
No. For us, 10, 15 meters visibility is like, wow, paradise.
Really?
But actually, the main problem with cold is not in the water, it's when you come out of the water.
Yes, true.
Yeah. Because in the water we have thick wetsuits that makes our free dive quite heavy, because we need to wear a lot of weights, and the thick wetsuit becomes thinner when we go down.
Okay.
But yes, but the cold in the water is different, or maybe because we are enjoying it. The problem starts when you come out, definitely.
That was a question asking you, what did you find different in scuba and free diving? Like, of course, now you chose free diving, we all know that, but how did you see the difference in between the two? Did you like scuba? Say yes.
Yes. It's different. I'm not racist about this.
Okay.
I always say, how do you think that? Because they say it's not natural to be breath holding, and I think that it's unnatural to be breathing under the water. You are not supposed to breathe underwater. But no, it's okay with scuba divers. And sometimes my girlfriend is going to be watching this, and she's a side mounter and cave diver.
That's good.
Yeah. So I need to choose my words. I love scuba diving.
Very political answer. Good one. Yeah, I think I tried once scuba, but I always free dived. Yeah, but I can see the beauty behind scuba diving as well. You have time in the water, then you can pay more attention to what's going on in front of you.
Yes, yes.
It has its own catch, definitely. Yeah,
it's different. Maybe because we are fanatics about free diving, so it's hard for us maybe to express. But there's a lot of people. Most of my students are scuba divers.
Yeah.
And so I try to measure always my words, because I don't like to make, even if we are laughing about this, to make this separation about scuba divers and free divers. You dive that way, I dive this way. Okay, it's okay for you, it's okay for me. So, yeah. And as you say, for example, if you want to get into a shipwreck and get really into a shipwreck, you will need the scuba gear. So you cannot do that free diving. So
exactly.
Yeah,
both of them has its high points, let's say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now, good question. Can you tell us about a special or unforgettable freediving moment that you had in Patagonia? Or especially if it has this nice marine mammal, cute orca.
There was many years ago when I started deep diving, because I started deep diving here in Patagonia with a good friend of mine. We knew nothing. Absolutely nothing. We didn't know about mouthfeel. We didn't know about Frenzel. Nothing. We had in mind that there was a diver in the 60s that he had reached 42 meters.
That was a legend.
That was a legend. Yeah, 42 meters. And we wanted to beat that guy. We wanted to go deeper than 42 meters. Yeah. And we were both Spiros. So one day we set the line, I don't remember, 30 something, 35, 30 something. And I went down. When I went down, I reached the bottom, and it wasn't the bottom there. I reached the end of the line. And I saw something black and white down there. And my Spiro mind thought, there's rock here. So I came up and told my friend, man, there's fishing here. No, there's no fishing here. I saw a big rock here. Come on, there's no rock here. Okay, let me breathe up. I'm going down again. I went down again, and there it was, that big black and white thing. And I hung there trying to look down, and the big rock started coming up.
Going in like this,
yes, with a big eye. That was a whale. I have had some encounters with whales before that, but not that deep. And the whale came with me, and I started coming up, and the whale came with me, and we were looking at each other. That was so special. It's really hard to express the feeling when you have that kind of encounter so close, because
Yeah.
you are looking into the eyes, so you are recognizing, or you realize that she is recognizing you.
Exactly.
It's quite special, and it was fun because when I was coming up, my friend that was waiting for me, he was going down because I was late.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw him, and he was with like the eyes wide open and saying like, look at the whale, look at the whale. And I was saying, it's okay, she's coming with me. And the whale came with me and to surface, and she stayed with us a few minutes and then left. That kind of encounters are like, oh, it's really, really hard to express. Really, really hard to express. You need to live
I
it.
totally agree. When you realize there is also some other creatures in this world as clever as you, and trying to understand what you are as you are trying to understand what they are, it becomes fascinating. It is these moments.
The first times you have an encounter with a whale, it's like your mind can't process everything because it's so big. It's like I always say, it's like a vase of flesh. I don't know how it's like this. It's like just to. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Have you, Memo? I've never heard any story about like this from you.
Yes, I had. The one thing that I can never forget, of course, I'm in Turkey. So we have these marine mammals, but very, very rare and in the offshore. So do we have whales? Rarely, but yes. We have dolphins. They say sometimes Mediterranean waters also host orcas, but who knows? We never saw. But what we have is like we have Mediterranean monk seals. So these are big seals, which are endangered, less than 500 in all Mediterranean basin. And in my town, we have quite a few of them, around 10, 12 of them. They are, of course, protected, but they are curious animals. So one day I was freediving with my buddy, and it was a late afternoon freediving session. And I just closed my eyes to breathe up. And I still remember that day, like now, I was breathing up, focusing only on my breath. And I felt something on my leg, like super gentle touch. I thought it may be a plastic. Yeah, it was like so limp. So it's like this thing. I think it's a plastic, I said. I didn't even open my eyes. 5 seconds later, I felt this plastic on the other leg as well. And I said, in my mind still, I cannot think anything else. And I said, oh, it's a big plastic. Yeah, it must be the garbage bag or something, you know. And then 10 seconds later, I felt like, you know, like grabbing my legs.
Hug you.
When I opened my eyes, I saw this giant head in between my legs. And literally my legs over his shoulders. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but you know, we just had a look like this, and that was the moment my heart skipped for several seconds, and I'm like, I couldn't even scream, you know. So I
know what you said.
I think I twitched. I did something like this, and the poor animal realized I'm dying, so it just went away.
That was a monk seal.
It was a monk seal, yeah, big one, very big. What I mean big is around 200 kilo, maybe. It's like a big animal.
Yeah, it's like a sea lion.
But since that day, whenever we went there, that old guy is always there. And every time we get in the water, of course he doesn't, maybe he remembers us, but he always comes and tries to sort of interact. Yeah, comes
definitely.
Close, look at you. At one point, you know, this is a very funny story. Second story, sorry. You poked the right spot. Yeah,
please. I love this.
We were diving as a group. There was me and I think 2 of my students or 3 of my students around the buoy, but very close to that area. And you know how we are as diving instructors. safety is the primary thing with our students.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to remember their names, I just count in the water. I always say
Count
1, 2,
heads.
3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I don't care who is who. I just count whatever the number is. So at some point in the session, I was counting again, and it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, that was the guy like this among the other people, and the students didn't even realize it was this big seal acting like that. You have to see the real fun afterwards when people realize it's a seal. That was the real fun. Yeah, so like screaming, running on the water.
yeah. Here we have lots of sea lions, lots of them, and they are very. There's a nice colony a few kilometers from my town, and the scuba divers go there. There's a colony where it's allowed, if you go with the dive center, to interact with the sea lions. So since they are born, they are used to be interacting with people. So they are really used, and they are all around. Sea lions are 80% of the times we go in the water, sea lions are there.
So they're pretty social.
Excuse me?
They are pretty social, in other words. Like
definitely, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. They come to you, they go around. Sometimes it's really fun. I had some pictures that a student going down the line and the sea lion going beside. They are really, really fun. Sometimes they just make a round and leave, and sometimes they stay to interact. Mostly the smaller ones, the pups, because they behave like dogs, like pups, and they are lovely. Yes, lovely.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Yeah. I asked this question to a couple of our friends who was in the interviews. Most of us had some barriers in the freediving career, like maybe it is the performance, like achieving a depth or passing, a time, or sometimes it's a barrier in our professional career, when we think we are not progressing in our teaching abilities or something. Did you ever had a block, a barrier in your freediving adventure?
Yes, definitely. Going deep. I remember that I was stuck a lot of time in the 48, 50 meters. I was stuck a lot. Not because of an equalization issue, but because I suddenly used to feel like the pressure. I feel it suddenly in that few meters. It was like I was falling down, free falling like a champion, and then felt that pressure like an elephant in your chest. But it was so quick, so suddenly that didn't let me go farther, and I was stuck in that many times until I realized that I needed to stretch more.
yes, good tip. Yeah, exactly. When your body is not right, or the opposite is also true. When your mind is not ready, the body can never be ready. And when the body is not ready, mind just reflects it in the other way. Yeah, it's like,
and always putting it in context that we were in Patagonia. We are really far from everything. And in those years, internet was like just starting up. It wasn't just worldwide like this. And we were trying ourselves. The only thing we had was that paper from Eric Fatah, the French Fatah, that was like you're told like this, and this like this. And it took me almost a year to learn French, and I can't teach French now in a minute.
That paper needed decryption, it comes with a key.
Lovely. I love Eric Fada.
Yeah.
It's an idol.
Great guy. Yeah.
But that paper was like, what language is this? But yes, put this your tongue like this, and then your soft plate like this. It was that was what we have. So we didn't know a word about mouthfeel. No, I'm just hearing about Frenzel. My friend was a natural, so he didn't know what he was doing, but he was equalizing, and I struggled a lot. And there was when I found myself stuck many times. And again, in context, 50 meters here in Patagonia is almost black.
Exactly.
And cold. And cold.
Definitely.
And yes. So, and we didn't know what we were doing. We wanted to go deep. That was it. We are still alive. That's cool.
Good. For many years, hopefully more.
Yeah, for sure.
So in Patagonia, in Argentina, you are sort of the father of freediving, if not the father, but one of the, like the entrepreneurs, one of the first guys who took it serious and started to establish the community of freediving by producing more freedivers. Yeah. So how is the freediving community in Argentina now, in Patagonia, but in Argentina, let's say.
In Argentina, yeah, it's growing up fast. It's growing up fast. I think freediving worldwide is one of the, maybe with extended range, are the most growing, I don't know how to say them, parts of sport diving, but it's growing up a lot. There's a lot of people freediving. I have a lot of people with me because I have a freedive center, but it works like a club. There's always people there. I'm missing that a lot because there's always people coming around and chatting and drinking mate. So we have a lot of people freediving, and we have a lot of people freediving for fun, because before that, there were just spear fishermen. They didn't go to the water if they didn't have a gun in their hands. And mostly what I am proud the most is there has been no deaths since I'm teaching in freediving. There used to be a lot of deaths freediving here with spears going deep. They used to say here, I am hyperoxygenating myself. Well, just imagine. So there were a lot of people dying years before I started teaching. But yeah, I was the first freediving instructor in Argentina, first former freediving instructor in Argentina. And it was hard. It was hard. Now I can make a living from teaching, just from teaching. But at the beginning, it wasn't that easy because many people thought that it's just holding my breath. Why do I have to take a course for holding my breath? I can hyperoxygenate myself and go down, and
for the ones who are watching, there is no such thing like hyperoxygenation. This is just a joke. Huh? Don't take it serious, please.
Yes, please.
Always fully oxygenated in life. Yeah.
Yes. You are always 98%. 98% saturation. Yeah. Don't hyperventilate, please.
Yes, I totally agree. Seeing the growth of the family, of the freediving communities, is probably the most satisfying thing for an instructor, for a professional, if you are contributing to it. What I see now is people are really happy to be part of these freediving communities, and this makes the real difference. I am watching it with a very warm heart, and I'm extremely pleased to see
definitely
these families are getting bigger and more, and this is overall getting a bigger sport.
Yeah, I used to feel like alone because when I started, it was like, oh, am I crazy? Well, because if you like football or if you like tennis, you find a lot of people that in the same situation that you are, and you can chat with these people and say, you understand with these people. This is why I got so enthusiastic with competitions, because I found myself between other people that, oh, you aren't that as crazy as I am. So, or we can communicate in some things that it's different. It's hard to express to some other people that it's not in the same mood or in the same situation that you are.
Quick question though. Yeah. Do you have a goal in front of you? Like, are you planning, like, what is your next step?
Before or after
after these days, of course.
Yeah, I have this goal that I am the only freediving instructor in my school. And since I became a trainer, I was expecting to teach a new instructor, and in which I trust enough to live alone and be able to go teaching to other places in my work as trainer, because there aren't many trainers around here in South America. And one of my goals was that it was about business. And then, well, the 100 meters, the 100 meters is always there, but it's there. It's an achievement that sometimes you put and say, well, okay, I want to keep going deep, but because you need an excuse sometimes to say, okay, I want to keep progressing or whatever. So, but my goals they are not that high. It's because I feel plenty now. I really feel plenty. No, it's not plenty. The word, I don't think I'm saying it properly, but I feel okay as I am. I feel okay as I am. I would like to travel more. Here in Argentina, we are quite devaluated. Our currency is very low, so it's really hard to travel with or without COVID. But yeah, I've never been into the cenotes, for example, in Mexico, or I've never been in Galapagos. I don't want to die before visiting Galapagos. So it's traveling, freediving in other places. I think that my main goal is, the world is so big. I want to freedive the whole world. This is my main goal, and this is why I want a freediving instructor working in my freedive center, so I can live something like
Super
this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. If you give 2 little suggestions to someone who is planning to start freediving, what would they be?
The first one, take a course, formal course.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Take a course, definitely take a course. No YouTube, no PDFs that are around like this.
With the real people, with the real person.
Yeah, with a real instructor. And the second one, take it easy. Take it easy and practice a lot. And don't compare with other people. Don't compare yourself with other people.
Exactly.
We all have different speeds, and take it easy and don't think about numbers. Enjoy it. You know, every time I go down, every time, or I usually, I sing, and there's this this song from the Specials that is saying, enjoy yourself. It's always in my mind, enjoy it. It's like a reminder, like enjoy yourself.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. I totally agree with you. I listened it somewhere lately. Life has two games. One is a short-term game, like a finite game, and an infinite game. Finite game is something that you get like a task, yeah, like a soccer game, like chess or something short. The beginning and the end is already defined. Freediving is not like that. You start freediving and keep living with freediving. So it's an infinite game. But if the moment you try to put scores or you try to conclude in your mind this game, you just break the magic.
Definitely.
Okay, super nice. Thank you very much, Alejandro. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much. I'm still enjoying this a lot. And it's always a pleasure to chat with you. I admire you. I think I already told you, but it's nice to say worldwide. I really admire you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I admire you as well. So
thank you very much.
Hope to get into the cold waters of Patagonia together one day.
Yes, waves are arriving already. They are arriving already. So yeah, we want to get into the water. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.